Hello everybody, and today I'll be showing you how to make a factions cannon in Minecraft. Now, a lot of people think that the best you can do with cannons is essentially 5 by 5, essentially, on both sides. Now that isn't actually factually accurate. There are ways to make more powerful cannons. I'll be explaining that in this video. So the important things about cannons that a lot of people disregard. I know I'm trying to remember if I need another component. Is essentially it never occurs to them. Now this cannon has long range, so I'm going to have to put it pretty far back, otherwise it'll just backfire. That redstone you can configure redstone purposely. So what I'm doing here is making a pretty simple cannon in Fergus. This is at the same point as that. If you do this, you can do that. You can continue. Of course, you should probably just put it like that. So as you can see, this is the start of the cannon. It's pretty simple. What you need to do is make it so there's another set of, except this set is 4. Now I recommend, because of how much TNT is in this cannon, doing this. So I have tested this cannon before, so it will work. And it does a lot of damage if it comes to a direct hit. You might need to do some exploration, because in other words, if you miss it, don't hit it at the exact spot, it won't do as much. You may hear some cats in the background. And be that much of a problem. So in this case, I'm just going to do it like that. I don't feel the need to do the shifting technique. So the thing is, this is the max it can go up. The thing is, it's quite simple. You can build what's called a slab. A slab, of course, is pretty simple. It allows you to do this, and it'll connect to both. The reason this is so essential for this build is because of the fact that you need, of course, we are actually going to, now that I think about it, put this here. We actually need we need essentially a 2-second thing, and then here. Now we're going to replicate this on the other side, of course. So this is essentially serves to delay the redstone. Since the redstone's delayed, it will, and the TNT cannon is delayed, that means each shot will be fired precisely at different times, but when you click it again, it will fire. So essentially, it's a pretty simplistic design, but it allows much more TNT. So this is actually kind of a simple thing. It does, if you don't think of it, it's actually very hard to think of. But once you understand the concept, it's actually quite easy to build. As you can see, this is, I'll get it to every position, and then I'm just replicating the other side. As you might also be able to see, essentially, the way that this works, and the way that it'll end up working is the TNT will be fired by the same amount in the future for each of these, but for each of these they will be fired at a different time. So TNT will be fired at different times. The way it works is it'll only be 2 seconds off, which means you can still reload it in 8 seconds like normal, and yet it will still work and work for more TNT. Now that, in my opinion, this is a pretty cool design. You can go up to, because of I didn't implement too much power. It's essentially best to only do 4. However, that's still a lot. And because of the amount of power we added once again, because of the way this is implemented, and we actually have the ability to stack a total of 9 TNT in total. So the way that works is you do that. So we so far have 5. We now have 7. We now have 9 on this one, and then we'll just finish up with 7 on this one. Now, these cannons are not recommended in normal TNT wizards due to the fact they take forever to build. As you can see, this is taking up pretty much time just to build the barrel and the explosive without even implementing the full redstone. And this is why this cannon is purely for destruction and testing purposes. This is not recommended in TNT Wizards, but this is officially a factions cannon in the way that it uses that kind of design. As faction cannons, which usually have a lot more TNT than this, I should mention, but this is just a basic one. One is essentially hats. The way that it works is we would essentially, for the first one, we would essentially connect it for this. So essentially, we would have this, and then another one, and for the second layer, which is acted on differently, at the same amount of redstone. So we'll actually just connect the farthest, this one, because it's the closest. So as you can see, this is a pretty simplistic design. You just do this. That's normal, so won't actually have to count that as a repeat. Since there needs to be 6 delay normally, we will end up having to do 2 delay. Because of how much later this is, we will actually just need 2, and like as so, and then we will do boop, 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 and boop, which will quickly do it. Now, I don't like building at night, so I'm going to type that day. And then, in this case, we can just do that same exact thing. Boop. Except I did that accidentally. I like making it pattern-based, even though in actuality it did not need to. I could have done that easily that way. So as you can see, it actually doesn't look that complicated. The way this works is it also will bring another set of redstone up here, and we're just going to extend it like this. And essentially this. Now, I should mention that the way this is going to work is also going to require, so it doesn't go out, because it will actually shoot out both ways if you don't do this. It will shoot out both ways if you don't actually lock that part down. Now what you need to do, just to make sure it doesn't do it, is fully bolt that. And then I'm just doing this part for decoration because I also like building. This part really isn't necessary to add the frame, it's just this line, but it just makes things look better. And then you need essentially 3, 4, 5. I like doing it like this, just because that makes it look a little bit cooler. But in honesty, we do not need any other parts here. But this is basically a simplistic design. I'm just making it cooler because I like making it cooler. However, the thing is, we actually can't have it there because it needs to spread. And if I remember correctly, I do have, if this doesn't work, I'm going to switch to the world which I already finished building it, in which I tested it and just repair some stuff on the outside. But most likely it's going to work and I didn't mess that up. Well, if I did, yeah, I'll just show you the actual completed design that I made earlier that I already got working. Hello? I'm actually sick, so I'm probably going to want to stay home for lunch. I'm having problems. So I don't think we'd be going to I don't think the normal place is actually going to happen. I'll call you back if anything changes, okay? Alright. Bye. Okay, so and then you essentially put this here, this here, this here, and this here, this here, this here, as we did on the other one. As you can see, this is pretty simple redstone, honestly. You really don't have to do that much. All you really have to do is set it up so each one layer increases by 2 ticks. And then you just do this, and then that's literally a completed design, except okay, so now I'm back, and as you can see, my FPS is going from low because of the wall and this to, well, sometimes it jumps to like 1,000, but normally it doesn't. That's an insane amount even for me. May hear some background noises, just ignore them. I have actually filled up all the TNT. As soon as I click this, watch my FPS go down. Oh, I forgot. Sometimes I do make as you can see, it doesn't have enough power to really do this efficiently. But and to launch it sufficiently. But this still, I think it's because I put too big barrel on it. As I said, this may be a little bit off. So I'm going to fire the barrel. It doesn't seem to blow up the cannon, so I think it's good, and just doing it by one should easily be sufficient. As you can see, it's having more power. I actually completely underestimated how little of a barrel I would need. Though I don't actually remember exactly where I had it, so that's probably one of the reasons. But as you can see, I'm just going to put the wall here because that's where it seems to be damaging the most. Slash, if I go here, that's positive. So slash fill, boop, 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 430, and then 29 iron block. Now, let's see, so that's that way. Now let's do it the other way. 429, negative 30, negative 29. I forgot to put that in, darn it. Negative 29 iron block. This actually will extend a little more, but as you can see, this is just to show how powerful the blast is. As, of course, I think I might have miscalculated a little bit, so as you can see, that's pretty powerful in one attack. Actually going to repair it somewhat. So fill, door, 30, negative 29 iron block. Now, I'm going to keep doing this, but I'm going to keep putting the barrel on less. So I'm completely surprised. I think I had the barrel way lower, actually, so I might have drained the power. I didn't think I did, but I might have. But it's pretty clear to say that this kind of destroys iron blocks, which are pretty powerful. Now, if this was concentrated to one spot, this might even be able to destroy something a lot more powerful. Not like bedrock, because that's very hard to break, but they actually is able to be broken by explosions, just a huge amount, but it just takes like 50 happening per tick, or essentially 400 per second hitting it, which is enough that it's like almost impossible. But as you can see, this pretty clearly is a beast of a cannon if it had higher range. That's it's unfortunate that it doesn't have higher range. I could upgrade the range of various ways. You see, I could turn this to 9 and actually put this here. That would go to 9, and then do this instead. Now this would make me need 5. But I have a feeling that this will not increase the power that much. But it's the max that I can really increase it. But it's still pretty good. So as you can see, I'm just going to move all of these up. So like that. And then that should make this much better. And start with a slab here as well. Now this will completely change the explosion level of explosion power. This will actually change a lot, as you probably will notice soon. So I actually need to go up here, which does make this a little more complicated. So I'm going to have to do this, do this, do this. So the more you increase the range, the more complicated this actually is. Doop, doop, doop. So as you can see, I'm having to hire this part of it. So I'm just doing this. Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to make this change on that side as well. So as you can see, I'm just going to hire Gus, hire Gus, hire Gus, hire Gus, hire Gus. Just once again, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to hire this part of it. So as you can see, this is getting more and more complicated each time I upgrade the range. Because the range is the main part of it that affects how far it can go, but it's actually very important to go power redstone, like usual cannons. Faction cannons actually require a huge amount of power to be persistent. As you can see, I have upgraded the range. Unfortunately, I need to fill some more, but I won't cut this because it's a lot less than I had to add earlier. So, yeah. This won't be that hard, but it will be annoying. Just so you know, the problem with some of these designs are literally, they can escape. So, if in some cases you have to bar down a lot of things. So, if I did the redstone right, this should go a lot farther. But this might also blow up if I've done this wrong. Have I done this right? Yes. So now I'll still go to this position, but I'll actually make the wall much larger. 9, negative 29 iron block. Now that will be much farther, so it'll be much harder to damage this. Now this shot will be a lot more devastating though, because it'll be a lot closer, so a lot less of it will miss. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's less, though I assume it'll be able to do another shot and do a lot more, and do more damage. Last one, another shot would have done nothing. This time, another shot managed to get it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers in total. One more and it'll probably be gone. As you can see, this cannon is actually, you can shoot it every 2 seconds. And it has a pretty powerful attack. As you can see, if I actually put an iron golem here, it will most likely be destroyed. So I'm going to put something a lot more powerful. The iron golem may have 100 health, but it's really inconsequential compared to TNT cannons. So I'm actually going to bar up the wither. I'm going to time set day first. And let's see what one hit can do to the wither. I'm going to have holes, and then I'm going to have this. So essentially the way it's going to work is the wither is kind of trapped. He has to have a pretty big area though. So I'm having to add a amount of actual area just to contain the wither. So, yeah, the wither is not the easiest thing to trap without obsidian or bedrock. Of course, I have obsidian and bedrock. I'm going to spawn the wither, unfortunately. When I spawn the wither, I'm going to have to do a little trick of mine to keep it in. So I'm essentially going to literally be in this. Now, I'm going to use a TP command to get out, so I won't be trapped forever. It will not go after me since wither. Oh yeah, I have it on peaceful. Well, that's awkward. Summon wither. Did it just get out? That's not good. It got out. Kill E type equals wither. You know what? I have an idea. I'm going to be back on this tab. I'm going to use MC Sacker, not sponsored, do it because I can't sponsor things, to essentially summon the wither. Now it might take a little bit to load, so I'll be back with the actual command. But this is just going to be a Wyvern that can't move. In other words, it will be trapped in there. It will actually have no AI. However, it'll just be essentially, it won't really be able to do anything. It will have its normal health though. Health 300, health 300. And I'm going to copy that over here. Go in there. Now it can't, so I think it's stuck in a block. I think that's what caused it. Now this should do barely any damage to it, if it does any. I'm not really sure it even does. So as you can see, the Wyvern is not really taking any damage from that. Will it take damage from this massive TNT cannon? Wait, something's wrong. That's weird. It never activated that. Oh, it already did. That's the problem. So when the redstone's on, it'll no longer activate that. Oh, that's why. That's an easy thing to fix. Just in case that was causing a problem being less symmetric, I will do that. You can see the Wyvern has not lost any health at all. Let's change that equation. Now this might blow the cannon up since it, it didn't really. It did a little bit of damage, but it's not showing its health, but that's odd. The boss bar isn't changing since it's custom. Reality, that did a lot of damage to it. Can one more hit be its end? Now don't worry, I messed something up. Unless it propels it first, then it will blow up. Yeah, that's a oopsie, but I really do not know what health the Wyvern is, so yeah, that didn't really work. So that's all for this video tutorial, and see you guys. Bye.